Hi everyone, welcome to a new week, week 51. It's almost the end of the year, and I'm Patrick Bellman. I'm the community manager at Gate.io, and I'm very excited, to bring the year to a close. Yes, this is a notification for my own live stream. Sorry, I just had to click that away. So the year's coming to a close. It's been like a super exciting, three supers, super exciting time for Bitcoin and for crypto in general. You know, there's a huge bullish sentiment. There's a lot of institutional interest, and on an algorithmical level, there's a lot of searches going on for Bitcoin too. So people are looking up what is Bitcoin, what is crypto, what's a Ponzi, what's a scam, all that kind of stuff, and they're trying to get familiar with the terms. You can see that there's action taking place. You can see there are things happening as, let me see, I think Bitcoin at the moment, I think it was heading to 20K, but it didn't make it, obviously, because it hasn't broken that barrier yet. Hasn't broken that barrier yet. It's currently hovering around $19,200 and 200. Keeps going up and down like a little bit. It's going sideways, but generally, like there's a huge bullish sentiment at the moment on an institutional level. Now that's important for reasons that you understand. PayPal announced, they were going to service their 326 million users. Stan Druckenmiller bought Mexican business magnate allocated some of his capital to Bitcoin. Kevin O'Leary of Shark Tank, he was going to allocate some of his funds to Bitcoin ETFs. This means that they're following each other, obviously, for competitive reasons, but also to follow the trends. They might be missing out on something. And if anyone has FOMO, it's institutional investors, right? Because they know that cash is trash. And if you're having cash on the bank and nothing is happening to it, then that's not a good thing at all. Like you need to invest it, put it into real estate, buy gold, arguably, but you need to, you need to invest it somewhere. You need to put it somewhere to generate. Savings equals investments, but Bitcoin and crypto, Bitcoin specifically, due to its technological features, has the most potential upside. Obviously, there is a potential downside and loss, but there's a huge potential upside, and that lies especially in the fact that it's deflationary. So you're not losing any purchasing power as you would be if you were holding the USD. Hi, luckily low. You wouldn't be losing any purchasing power as you would be with the USD or with the euro. You would actually be gaining purchasing power. Then again, it's a long-term game. So yeah, this is all interesting. It always has been interesting, but it's super interesting because people are going to sit together now at Christmas and they're going to converse and they're going to talk about it and they're going to say, oh no, Bitcoin is bullshit, it's a scam. No, Dad, it's actually not a scam. This is why XYZ. They're not going to listen anyway, probably, right? Family or friends, but it doesn't matter. There's going to be a lot of engagement. There's going to be a lot of educating each other and a lot of telling each other what the crypto space is about, and gradually people like the curiousness, it trickles in very slowly to the point where you open up an account at Bitstamp or any other alternative euro exchange or Coinbase for USD peeps. Maybe you open an account, you deposit some money, you buy some crypto, like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, wow, it went up. Oh, it went down. It's a little bit, if you've been in the crypto space, and I think on average, most people will have joined 2017, but there will be a big average of people who were in 2015, 2016, because anyone before that was really in it for the tech, because there was no other incentive. From 2011 to 2015, the incentive was either you were into venture capital and you were being pitched into investing into a certain project, or you were just very much in it for the tech and found it interesting because there was not the foresight that it would be what it is today. And then from 2015 onwards, the swings were such that there was a definite profit to be made and a definite potential an exponential potential of your capital in regards to crypto assets. So why was I saying that? Anyway, yeah, so it's generally like a super exciting time, and there's going to be more to come in 2021. More regulations, but definitely more volatility and more swings too, right? It would be hard to believe that it wouldn't be. It's a confirmed bullish trend. The trend is your friend, so why not hop on that trend? At Gate, and in general now in the crypto space, there's not a lot going on, right? We're waiting for Christmas to arrive. There'll be some great events going on at Christmas, but there aren't a lot of things happening at Gate at the moment besides the regular stuff, right? We're listing loads of tokens. We have our regular projects, which are currently being operated, but there are no huge new developments. Same as in the crypto space, there's no FUD, there's no huge FUD, there's no FOMO, but we're working in the back end to make sure everyone is happy. So on that reiterating note, if there's anything you're dissatisfied with, or if there's anything you want to compliment us about, or give us kudos for, feel free to reach out to me in my Twitter DMs, or reach out to support, to express your gratitude or your having trouble finding the words I want to use at this moment. But if there's anything you're dissatisfied about, feel free to reach out to support, and let them know. Because we obviously take it very serious, and we listen to our users, because in the end, the users are all we got. The users are the ones who provide liquidity, makers and takers alike, and the users are the ones who use our products, who stake coins, and generally there's a very positive sentiment about Gate.io lately, and that's a really great development, a nice evolution to witness, because obviously you don't get the benefit of the doubt all the time as an exchange. And there's a lot of not your coins, not your keys skepticism, and generally people like to rail against exchanges if their issue, their complaint hasn't been solved yesterday. But obviously it's going to take some time, and at this moment we are super duper busy, because a lot of new people are signing up, which is great, but it means we're handling the inflow of new users, and until now that's going pretty well. Maybe if you remember in 2017, if you are around that space, or because I've been doing crypto and I learned about crypto in 2015, and then I had all my accounts for trading. I had them set up already. One sec. I had them set up already. I had my KYC passed on accounts where that was necessary. But there were a whole lot of people who got in 2017, who all of a sudden wanted to trade, and like, oh my God, I want this, I want Bitcoin, I want Ethereum, I want to have this amazing scam token. And then they try to open up accounts everywhere, and then there would be like, first of all, there would be like a waiting list. They would, I think Kraken put on a hold on new users because they had a big they had lots of trouble upgrading their security infrastructure. But what was pretty cool about Kraken back then was that they were focused on upgrading their security infrastructure. And they weren't, too bothered with, okay, we're going to onboard all these new 2 million users. No, they really made sure that their platform was secure. So props to the other exchange, Kraken. But yeah, on another note, there was a waiting list to get onto the exchanges. And then once you got onto the exchange, you couldn't really do much, generally speaking, right? Because there were many exchanges, and the performance depended a lot on which time zone was waking up. So was it Asia, America, Europe, or Africa? Because that would influence how much the exchange would be overloaded. But generally, the interfaces weren't working very well. Like matching engines obviously were very fast, very developed and very advanced. But it was a time where you definitely had to be patient, where perhaps you place a buy order and like, okay, cool, I got that. And then you realize, oh my God, that buy order never went through. I never actually got what I wanted to place because the system was just glitching. That being said, now I'm going to expect, because we definitely are prepared, I'm going to expect from all exchanges that they are very well prepared for the big bull move, which is yet to come. The big bull move, perhaps in 2021, who really knows, right? The anticipation is, right? I think around May, February, March, April, May, May, June, that's when it's really going to hit off, and that we can see some really crazy stuff happening. And I hope by that time, all exchanges have got their, excuse my French, shit together, because by that time, it will be very clear that, you know, users all over the world will want to sign up with accounts. So I hope that they are very focused on user friendliness, and that they have like a super duper UX. We are definitely prepared for all these new users to drop in, you know, and we definitely don't have any lag of that kind. Every once in a while, like a blockchain network will be congested, and a withdrawal or a deposit will be delayed. That in 95% of the cases I've experienced at Gate, that has to do with the blockchain itself, because that's something you're not unfamiliar with a deposit or a withdrawal that is delayed. You know, that's just taking its time. It's taking too much time, but then often it's the blockchain itself. What is interesting to know about Gate is that we were DDoSed, I believe last week somewhere. So actually I think it was last Saturday. So the GateIO.io website was down. People couldn't reach it. You got a notification that there was some maintenance being done, but we managed to get everything back up and running in a pretty short time span. Obviously users were affected, so so sorry for that. Currently we've got some Cloudflare. We've got Cloudflare implemented into the Gate.io infrastructure to make sure that that's not possible, because like that's obviously an interest of people with a bad attitude, people who have a little bit too much time on their hands, to try to get access to anyone with funds, be it an individual user or an exchange itself. But we work hard to make sure that security is always a super big thing. I'm going to actually go over some of these security tips which we have written up in the past. Let's see. We got time while people are still trickling in. You like my hairstyle? That's kind of you. Thank you. So before I get into what's been going on at Gate, that's also quite an interesting thing, right? Obviously, everyone knows, or most people know, that what a DDoS attack is. But apparently, researchers are researching something called a BDoS, which is a blockchain denial of service. That'll be interesting. That's the last thing we need. Bitcoin going to 20K, up to 30, 40K, and all of a sudden there's a BDoS, a blockchain denial of service attack, and then all of a sudden no one can use the infrastructure anymore. So I was talking before about how Gate is very much focused on security. Every once in a while there will be a delay perhaps with the deposit and the withdrawals, but just trust us that has everything to do with the congestion of that specific blockchain or that specific network. Sometimes ETH transactions are delayed because the network is so congested. Back in 2017, it took up to an hour to 24 hours to send BTC. And regardless of the super high fees, it is just dependent on the time. But we're happy, and we're looking very much forward to onboard a whole bunch of new users as we slowly expand. Not sure what you're talking about there. Buy and sell stocks like FTX, so sad. Gate could buy and sell stocks like FTX. Yeah, FTX, they could not. You mean we should, right? Yeah, FTX offers the opportunity to buy Amazon stocks, the Airbnb IPO. It's not our core business, right? We really do crypto to crypto, and we like to think that we do that well. So it's not something we are focused on at the moment, but you never know. In due time, we have options, callable bear bull contracts, derivatives, perpetual contracts, Yeah, we have all kinds of really cool products where you can experiment, and and if you're financially savvy, get into it and try to make some trades or just do some staking. So yeah, how about we get into the content? First of all, there's some stuff you can read up on, which I'm not going to elaborate on loads at this moment in time. There's the GateChain development update. GateChain we're building at the moment, which is a super cool public blockchain, which has all kinds of functionalities. That's good actually that we get on this point. Next week, I'm going to invite Spiros, our community manager for GateChain, to join me. Hope he's watching, because then you can see. He's going to join me, and he's going to do a little bit of talking about what GateChain is. I think that'll be a really cool attempt. Next week's live stream will be at 1:00 p.m. UTC, by the way. So that's one. Then we're going to stake ETH 2.0. That's already been known, right? Because I announced that last week. ETH 2.0 has been released. We're going to offer this flexible staking solution where you don't risk getting a penalty for having an unstable network, and you also don't need the 32 ETH, which amounts to like 10K. You don't need the 32 ETH to be able to stake. You can just stake your ETH with Gate.io, and then get a 10% annual percentage, which is really cool because you don't have to do anything for it, and it's definitely better than any bank. Keeping in mind, it is a speculative asset, right? So however bullish you may be on crypto or on ETH or BTC, realize that the risk is always on your side. You're always responsible. So you need to do your own research, you need to do your due diligence, and then consider. Because obviously I can tell you this very exciting story of staking your ETH and getting 10%, but that's not worth much if ETH goes back down to 10, which in theory is possible, because anything is possible in theory, right? Highly unlikely in my opinion. I'm bullish ETH as well. I'm bullish BTC, bullish ETH. I'm bullish. I'm not going to talk about any more other coins. Anyway. Yeah, talked about the temporary maintenance we had because we were DDoSed, put up Cloudflare. Everything's working super smooth, so hope no one had too much of a delay with that or an inconvenience. For the traders, drinking my espresso. For the traders, we got two side positions features on perpetual contracts. Now, perpetual contracts as a product are already complicated if you don't know what you're doing or if you're not a trader. They're basically futures contracts without an end date, without a settlement date. There are now two side position features where you can actually go long and short on the same contract. Don't ask me, because I don't specialize in these products. Actually, I'm not interested in them either. I'm really a big fan of staking. I'm a big staking fanboy because maybe that has to do with the fact that I'm from Europe, and in Europe generally, if you have your funds anywhere except at I think at the Lloyd's Bank they give 0.4%. That's the highest interest you can get. But if you have your funds at a European bank, chances are they are going to charge you interest. Now they charge you interest for your funds only above 100K and 250K. That does not apply to me at all. But even having, you pay, you have a bank account, let's say in the UK or Greece or Holland, wherever. First of all, you pay to have the bank account, and then you get 0.0001 interest, which is nothing. There's no incentive to keep your money on the bank. It's not smart to do. And, as mentioned before, cash is trash. It's important to let your cash work for you and let you generate money while you sleep. That sounds a little bit exaggerated, but that's basically what it should do. It should generate passive income for you. That's why I like the staking products. BlockFi has some really cool staking products. Nexo does too, but Gate definitely does as well. We offer at our hold and earn section. Actually, I haven't done it for a while. Let me head over. If you go over to Gate.io, you log in, you click lending and mining, and then you click hold and earn. So then, let's see what we got here, right? So here, Gate.io, daily hold and earn, USDG lockup. USDG is our stable coin. You get 10% for 7 days, minimum of 50 USDG, which is not a huge amount. Oops, open the developer platform, don't want that. Bear with me 2 seconds, guys, I'll open it. We got enough time anyway. So then if you head over, let's say you got lucky, right? You invested in DOS Network and it did a friggin' 300x, and you're looking at whatever, 20, 30K, and you got all this extra money, you got all this extra tether, all this extra funds. You can then swap your USDT for USDG. You can store up to 500,000 USDG. I don't know what you got. It's none of my business, but you know for yourself, right? And then you can get 10%, which is a daily 0.027%. That may not sound like much, but it compounds, right? It compounds every day, leading up to an average of 9.97% per year. So it's a floating interest, and it can, goes from 10 to 15%. And it's always better than keeping it in your bank or anywhere else. Then keep in mind that the more volatile the coins, the more, let me see what this notification is about. Nothing. The more volatile the coins, the more, you get an interest rate, the more interesting the percentage, right? So let me scroll down. For example, Zero Network. Is it Zero Network? Zero Protocol. One sec. Yeah, so Zero is the new generation of privacy blockchain that supports smart contract and enables issuance of privacy coins, right? I think it was built on ZK Snark, if I'm not mistaken. You can get 13% on an annual basis, and you can store up to, let me see how much. Current holdings. So you can do like a minimum of 1,000 Zero. At the moment, from what I see, Hold and Earn doesn't have like these huge percentages as it did before. Let me see, these are finished. Are there going to be ones underway? Obviously, we are focused very, very much on new listings of coins. Last week, we listed like 7 coins, Dusk, 88 miles per hour. We listed West today. What else did we list? We listed Pickle. We listed, actually, let me take a look. You can see if you head over. It's cool because that's why I got into Gate in 2018. I signed up at the beginning of January 2018. I signed up to them because at that time I was very interested in coins and projects based in Asia. And obviously, Gate.io has a lot of Asian-based tokens. DeFi is still very, very hot over there, and there's a lot of bullish sentiment. So if you look at them, so West has been listed, VDX has been listed. Here, let me see at the announcements. Yep. One sec. Base has been listed, but that was last week already. Then, Dusk I already mentioned, 88 miles per hour. We're going to support the Spark airdrop, by the way, for XRP holders. So, if you belong to the XRP army, definitely store your tokens with us. I can't seem to find it, but there were like loads of listings. Pickle Finance. See, we got so many announcements that they disappear quickly. I've got you. Loads of tokens, loads of them. And there's quite a lot of liquidity as well. If you head over to the trading area, you can see there's a lot of liquidity happening, taking place, a lot of makers and takers. In any case, we have a lot going on for traders. Let me see here. Let me go back to the document. We're expanding on our Cryptopedia. It's the section at Gate.io where we are explaining all these crypto-related topics. One new addition, which was pretty funny and pretty cool, I thought, was Grayscale Investments. Grayscale is obviously the biggest fish in the industry. They hold a huge 500K Bitcoin portfolio for their clients. They don't hold it themselves, but they are allocated up to 500K in Bitcoin. They're also into XLM, Stellar. They have all kinds of products where they have been invested. You can go check them out, but if you want to find out more, you can head over to our Cryptopedia section where you can read all about it. So there was a rollback attack on Aeternity. There's an announcement how to handle the withdrawals and deposits regarding Aeternity as well. The two-position mode for two-side position mode for perpetual contracts. I talked about that. And then there's an explanation regarding the basis rebases. So let me just grab that because that's important for you to know. Base, just like Ample Fourth, AMPL, YAM, and there's another one I believe. It rebases. It means every day, at the end of the day, the amount of base readjusts. Means that if you had I'm not sure what the percentage is, if it's 100 to 1, 10 to 1, or 5 to 1, but we can read that now. So Base Protocol has a feature that adjusts the base address balance at a scheduled time through a smart contract called a rebase. So we update our users' balances according to the on-chain rebase result as well. On December 10th and December 11th, the time that the smart contract conducted the transfer transactions deviated from the scheduled hour. We didn't manage to capture the rebase records for those 2 days. As a result, users skipped the two rebases. Though we conducted no rebases, we still snapshotted the users' balances and kept them. So after we double check, it's confirmed that the base chain had successfully conducted the two rebases for those 2 days, which means that you're obviously going to have your amount of tokens adjusted and corrected. Let's see, for some users who had sold out or withdrawn before the rebase might find that negative balance after rebase, need to buy it back or deposit some Xerkin. Anyway, you can read about that. I just wanted to touch a little bit upon what Base Protocol is, but generally tokens which rebase every day. So to summarize, it's the base address balance. It readjusts based on the smart contract every day. So the user balance is also adjusted every day, which means the supply, it decreases and can increase as well, but it generally decreases, it adjusts. You'll see a different amount of tokens in your portfolio. This is very important to realize when you're buying these tokens, so always do your due diligence. I'm going to very slightly touch up on some security tips. One obviously being, I'm going to treat one per week, right? Because there are so many to be mentioned and they're just important for you to know about. There was a phishing scam with Ledger, so you got a hardware wallet hypothetically. It's safe. It's supposed to work safe. But what happens is that, as with all security issues, there's a human error. So some people found a way of sending people emails, which they might have retrieved from the database hack of Ledger, where user information was stolen, and they've sent out emails with a Google Doc saying, your Ledger account has been blocked. Please reconfirm your login information, and some people were like, they're like, oh my God, they get that message and they're like, wow, what's happening? And they get scared and they connect their Ledger and they log in, but they log in their information in a place where they shouldn't do it. Obviously, I mean, if you get a Google Doc, that's a huge red flag. But you should also check the sender of the emails. But the problem is people get emotional and they don't do due diligence. They don't think straight anymore, and they just blindly follow instructions, and then it's too late. You've basically logged in and given the seed phrase for your private key. Given the seed phrase for them to access your funds. And I saw several people on Twitter indicating they'd lost all their BTC, which is like, it's traumatic. You've been saving that up, you've been accumulating that over God knows how long. So this wasn't a very sophisticated phishing scam. Like I've seen way more sophisticated phishing scams, but a phishing scam where someone tries to get your passwords or account information, private key, that happens more often than you think. If you don't recognize the email, don't click on any links. If you don't recognize the sender, don't click the link. If you don't recognize it but think, okay, this could be legit, contact support via the official support. These are very straightforward things, right? But these are not things you think about when you see you're going to get blocked, you're going to get cut out of your account, you're going to lose your BTC, which is obviously bullshit. It's nonsense. So they try to play into your emotion, try to play into your sentiment. There are a lot of criteria to see whether a link is real or not. So you could have contacted Ledger support and say, hey, is this a real email? Is this legit? You could have clicked on the sender, and if you often hover with your mouse above the sender, it'll show the real email address. And if you hover over the link of the attachment, sorry, not the attachment, like if there's a link in the email and you hover with your mouse over that link, it'll show you the real URL destination where it's going to. So obviously never click on the links. Ask yourself, who's the sender? Were you expecting the email? How is the message written? Is it full of mistakes? Because I know generally people in crypto don't care much for some proofreading or some proof editing, but it'll more often than not have some really incoherent text in it. That should be very clear. Does it contain lots of mistakes? Does it have an incoherent structure? If anything, be suspicious. That's the baseline for crypto, unfortunately. That's not an ideal future. That's not an ideal place to be, But be suspicious, because there are a lot of people who have too much time on their hands, who are very smart, and who are assholes in nature and want to take your BTC from you. So if you're not using an anonymous avatar and hiding behind this anonymous avatar while shouting profanities at everyone on Twitter, and you're open like I am, you need to be careful. You need to protect your interests, and you need to make sure that you follow all the rules. And you trust no one who reaches out to you. If anything seems too good to be true, it most likely is not true. Most likely is too good to be true. So there are some more security items I want to talk about, but I'll save them for next week. Not much going on at Gate. Very bullish sentiment in the market. I hope everyone has had a great weekend and is going to have a great week ahead of them. I'm going to post some stuff about a really cool Christmas campaign we are going to organize starting this week. And there's going to be another one next week where you can win some awesome prizes. So I hope everyone has a great week, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.